From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team. Dominating with Dawson.
Excuse me, but I'd like to talk to somebody who could help me dominate. Is there anybody here?
Is there anyone here?
Anyone?
Ben
Anyone?
here. Ben.
Ben,
Oh,
calling
hi.
Ben.
Hi guys. Hello. I'm happy to help.
And we're relatively new to racing.
Right?
It's been a few years. However, we've heard about these things that people go through where they get stuck. They get stuck at a certain level or stuck in their ways, or they get onto a plateau.
I've been there.
You've been there? We
Yes.
haven't been there yet, I don't think.
Maybe you haven't. You just didn't even know it.
Yeah, I think we've moved from one way of screwing things up to another way of screwing things up. So we haven't ever had a plateau. We just keep moving from ways to mess things up. So
you're saying you're failing sideways, sort of?
sideways. Well, I mean, when you start off infinitely slow, you progress. You can pull seconds out of everywhere because it's easy. But
Zero plus
suppose
zero.
exactly. So how would somebody get into a plateau, and more importantly, how would somebody break one?
I could tell my own plateau story and then
Sure.
kind of go from there. You want to hear that? So
if it'll help me dominate, I need to know.
I hope so. It was an experience that moved the needle for me. But I had been doing track days for a long time. Before that, I had done kart racing. So I've been done some competitive racing before, but I'd done track days for a long time and just doing a few a year until I could break into instructing, or I could go do more of them because I could afford to do more at the time. I didn't have enough money to go racing, but I had enough money to have a track car. So I was out there, running pretty competitive stuff, good brakes, good tires and stuff like that. But I was just making laps and instructing. So I kind of hit a plateau there, driving around thinking like I'm kind of hot stuff. I would go to a Mustang club event or something like that. They'd be like, "Oh, Ben, drive the crap out of that Miata. It's so good." So I'm driving around thinking like, "Hey, I'm pretty good. I got this thing maxed out or whatever." And I never really thinking that, but thinking I was pretty good because I thought I was pretty consistent. But also I had always, this is even pre-era of smartphones. This is kind of I would say this is around the time when the Apple iPhone had only been out for a couple of years, the very first one. So this is kind of a while back when I kind of went through this process. But it wasn't like everybody had a lap timer in their pocket all the time, or had such easy access to apps and that sort of thing. The time of that, so I had never had a reason to put a transponder in my car or have one. So I just thought I was doing pretty good. But then I had a chance to start doing time trial with the NASA region where I was, the Mid-Atlantic region. They would let us do time trial for free. Usually we had to pay an entry fee. So since I'm cheap and didn't have any money there, I was like, oh, I got a chance to do free time trial. I figured I would buy a transponder and start doing that. So I went out there with cars that I knew the drivers, knew what the cars were, kind of how they were put together, and thought, oh, I should be able to run with this car, this car, this car. And I went out there and their times were just better than me. I realized like, oh, people in cars with comparable equipment to mine, or drivers I think I should know pretty well. I think I should be able to run with. When it comes down to time trial, I need to find some time because I'm not as fast as I thought I would have been. Just so my experience was just the first time I put a timing device in the car, I found out I wasn't going as fast as I thought I was. And I'm sure I've been running around doing that for a long time because I had been, coming to the track, instructing, same track, blah, 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 bang, 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 lap after lap, I think. So that was kind of my plateau experience.
Okay. So how did you break it?
Well, I didn't want to be last. So I started trying to ride around with these people that were beating me in similar equipment and seeing like, okay, they're able to get away with this in this turn, whereas I thought I could only do this. You know what I mean? I heard that guy shift into fourth here and I've been, keeping it in third. Sort of things like that where I just tried to ride around and sort of do crib notes on people that were doing things a little bit faster around the track than I was. Just piece it together and realize I could go harder here, or I could, turn sooner here or brake later here, that sort of thing. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Miss
I
Jen,
mean, You find most of
Yes.
your speed by cheating off of other people. That's my experience.
That's it. Cheating off other people, no problem. Miss Jen, have you ever gotten the plateau yet?
No. I feel like I learn something every single time I go to the track still.
You do actually. You get faster every single time.
Yeah.
Like I'm still in that phase where like I'm just surprised at whatever I learned that weekend. And it might not be something I'm working on. It just happens. So yeah, no plateaus yet.
It's good.
Question though. When you go to the track, has your goal ever been to be faster?
My goal, it's never been my first goal, but that has always been one of my goals. But the thing is the goals that I make for myself are to help me get faster. Like that's like the ultimate goal, right? So like you want to do all these other things. So yeah.
So I guess the point, and we'll get to Vicky in just a minute, which unlike the last podcast we recorded, she's actually controlled herself right now, which is shocking. But anyway, she was a little excited the last podcast. But anyway,
yeah, I got my pen and paper now, so I'm good.
Yeah, she's good. So the one thing I think that we do as a team, and I've been asked to write an article for somebody on this, is the faster either the top speed at a spot or the time is an output variable, and what we concentrate on as a team is the input variable, like what to do that adds up to that. Because there's what can you do about a lap time once you have it? Nothing. You're by definition that lap is done, so there's not a lot you can do about it. We do have one person on our team, our son, who doesn't believe in this, but we're working on that. So Miss Vicky, you're on mute.
Yes.
Have you ever had or been at a plateau for a while since
No.
we started? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Why do you think not?
Why? Because I'm still learning. And every time that I go out, if I'm sitting in an instructor's car,
Getting ready to throw up?
no. Or if I'm doing a lead follow, and even if there is a person that I'm following on the racetrack, I'm still learning from them, either quicker ways of shifting better. My whole issue still right now is braking on the straightaway. So no, I haven't. I have much more to learn.
So
I have not plateaued.
So do you think it's because you're doing things differently, or do you think it's because you're just learning?
I think it's because I'm just still learning.
Okay.
So the thing is when you learn something, Bill, you got to go out there and practice it. Do you know
Sure.
what I mean? So we're kind of like, we'll go learn something and then we'll go back and we'll practice it and learn something else along the way. So really it's just about seat time and you're learning, and do you know what I mean? So once you get enough seat time and you get all those things learned, then you start to plateau, but we're just not there yet.
We still have more education to do.
Do you think the drills have been helpful?
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah. Because I think for the drills is that they are desensitizing us to certain situations. So we can go out and practice. Well, the Indian runs for sure, which I know is not politically correct. Indian runs. They're just really a series of really, really close passing, but you're doing it in a line. And you have basically you have to work together in a team of 4, much like if you're in a train or something like that. People have a tendency not so much to work together, but they all have to work together somehow on the track. And that's what is desensitizing you to getting very, very close to a car when you're passing and squeezing in very, very close and getting as tight up to that car as you possibly can. So,
gotcha. So it's like a proximity drill sort of thing.
It really is.
Man,
so
definitely needs a better name. I'm not saying that out loud ever.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's not a politically correct one, but So we do that, and there was another drill that we do. It was just
There
left
was a
track,
drill
right
where
track.
you went and you braked real hard.
Threshold braking.
With the cones, no, it was the cones where you came up and you had to like lock up your brakes or try to lock up
Brake
your
as hard as you
brakes.
could to
Do you
get close to the
remember that
cone.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
And of
cool.
course
That's
they do
interesting.
like
drill.
they do mini autocross drills when you're going at speed, so that it does help. It desensitization is really what it is. So now that I'm up into 2, crossing over to 3, I just really just need to tackle that one straightaway braking zone issue that I have.
Oh, we're talking about near NASA Great Lakes region, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool that they do all those drills, but also let me tell you something. By the time you get into HPDE 3, the group is going to teach you how to hit the brakes. If nobody's done it yet, the guy group's going to teach you how to hit the brakes because that's a Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? Am I right, Bill? You'll be looking around real quick, like how do I roll with these people? I should be this fast, and they'll help you get there.
3 is where you make your most.
The boys turn to men.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
I think it's what separates racers from everybody else. At least that's kind of my take on. If you've been through the whole NASA ladder and you get to 3, I think that's kind of where the most significant people will split off to go do competition or decide they want to keep doing track events and eventually fade away or do something else.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think 3 had the most. I got the most out of 3 and the most fun in 3. Not to say that 1 wasn't great when I was in 1 and 2 wasn't great when I was in 2, but I think the drills that we do in Great Lakes are the 3 drills are a little better than most of the other ones, and I think if you look at it like a journey, I think the biggest step was in HPDE 3 as far as progression.
So what is it about HPDE 3? Like you both have done, you and Ben, HPDE 3. Like what's the significant difference between 3 and 2? Just for our listeners.
I think the thing is in 1 you kind of get over, the tentativeness of being on track and you get kind of comfortable with the track, and in 2 you kind of learn what to do on track, right? And you get the line and you get a couple more of the pillars that form the basis for a nice strong fundamental foundation in racing. And then in 3 it's the first time where they push you not to go faster, but to do better and sharpen some of the round areas of your driving and pinpoint little things that you could do that would make you a better driver, more control, more speed, less. I mean, the thing is, it taught you how to go faster with less wear and tear on the car. So you weren't, you may not have felt like you were pushing it as fast as you were, but if you look at the output, the time or the speed in a turn or whatever the different drill was, or the proximity to another car or whatever it was, or your comfort and stress level as a driver, it went towards the good side. And that was what I took out of it. What do you think, Ben?
I did 3 in a different region. I did it in the Mid-Atlantic region, and it's been more than 10 years ago when I was in that group. But my recollection is that the pace picked up a lot in DE3 sort of naturally because, I think before we had like maybe 2 or maybe 3 passing zones at my home track, in the novice group, maybe got 1 more when you went to the DE2 group. But when you got to DE3, you suddenly got a lot more passing zones. I don't know if it was kind of anywhere with a point or something like that. But when all of a sudden things get open up a whole lot more when all of a sudden you get to pass anywhere. So it suddenly went from being sort of a track day parade procession group from the first 2 groups. So that by the time you get to an advanced group or DE3 or something like that, I think things naturally kind of just turn into more of a race group because you're trying to work on managing traffic, keeping everything flowing. You'd be pretty embarrassed if you cause a train in an advanced DE group, right?
Yeah.
So nobody wants to do that. You don't want to be that guy. So you're trying to watch your mirrors and be conscious of how you pass people as you're going along. So I think just the natural flow of way more passing and more passing zones brings a lot of the speed up in DE3, because you're not going to get stuck in a train, hopefully, and you can kind of learn your own pace in your car with less disruption, that sort of thing. So in my experience, that's also where people start showing up with their cars more heavily modded. The guys who are going to be track day guys forever, they've already bought that that supercar straight out of the showroom that they're going to run, or bought a used race car or something they're just going to go crazy with or something like that. But I've also experienced that in the advanced groups, that's when the equipment gets a lot faster, whether they're buying some super fast new car or something they've modded up themselves.
Yeah, and the spec Miatas start popping out, so it's not just a a normal daily driver. It's a race prepared car. So Jen, you actually Vicky won't drive with me, but you actually went out with me in 4. Did you notice a difference between 4 and 2 that you were in at the time?
I mean, it was just one run, so I really didn't get to experience that much. I mean, it just seemed like I don't know.
It was only a few laps, so
it really was only a few laps, so it was really hard to say. And there wasn't a whole lot of cars around us. Like there wasn't a lot for me to grasp onto, other than the fact that you went really fast.
I like it. I like when I take somebody out in like the advanced or instructor group to ride with me, and even people who have been track people for a while. You run along, and if you're doing the comedy, you hear them go, I gotcha.
Yes, I have my comm now. It's very fun. We'll be using that quite often.
Cool. Did you get a chatterbox or what?
No, I got a track.
No way Bill would go with the standard.
Well, I was told to go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't know if chatterbox is still even a thing that I say that.
Oh, it is. It's just there's
TrackMate.
TrackMate, yeah.
Cool. That's a known brand too.
Look at that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see who gets to be the first person subjected to my tutelage.
Yeah, Jen, did you feel safe in the car with him?
I did. I mean, Bill's a good driver. He's a great driver. Like, I mean, I felt totally safe with him.
Even when we were in the grass?
I mean, he only went off one time.
Did you really go off?
About that. I didn't say a word about it. I didn't come back and say, "Oh, we went off."
Oh, it was coming. So here I am. We're driving with Jen. This is real quick. We're driving with Jen. We're at pit race. No big deal. And I'm talking to Jen. And we don't have the comm system yet, and we don't have the radios hooked up. So I'm trying to talk to her, and I'm yelling a little bit so you can hear. And I realized that I wasn't going full, like, as fast as I can go, so I backed off a little bit. But I realized right in the middle on the backside when the kink comes in, going into turn, I guess that's 18, that the amount of brain power that it takes to communicate in like real time definitely impacts your amount of brain power left for you to make sure that you're turning in at the right point or hitting the brake at the right point. So I got to demonstrate to Miss Jen how to go off a track for quite a long time and be in full control of the car the whole time. But
you know what? We popped right back on and kept going.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
I took old Elazar off the track right after I bragged about how well I went through the kink and CMP. Like, hey, this is how you do it. Boom.
It's basically the same. So, yes.
I can't complain about that.
So when you are talking, your brain is doing something and it's not driving. So slow down a little bit. Anyway.
Well, right. That's an important point though, Bill, because I think it just says something to how much concentration it really takes to do that. Do you know what I mean? To be out there and the focus that you have to have.
It does. I think one of the things that makes you a faster driver and a better driver is you become subconscious as opposed to conscious.
Mm-hmm.
I never think about it. You gotta find some way to kick yourself off that plateau, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bringing it back around.
That's right. Exactly. Don't cut all the grass. Just cut some of it. But leave some for the rest of everybody. So
that's right. There's room on the plateau for everybody. You gotta get on top of one. You have to find a way to get yourself off. If you need help, call me. I'll give you my cell phone number. We'll put that in the show notes.
It's a 555. All right, plateaus. Try to avoid them.
Good luck.
Thank you, everybody. You know what I've been dying to do is just sit here and move my lips and stuff and not say anything and just make her think that her speaker's not working for like 10 minutes.
Mm.
What's up, Miss Jen?
Hi.
Uh-oh, we got somebody coming.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Vic. How are you?
I'm okay.
She's tired and she hates me.
I don't hate you at all. I'm just tired today.
Tired's code for hate, Bill.
No, it is not. Stop it.
It is. So do you two want to start planning your weekend?
I think they're planning on eating out.
I'm gonna fly by the seat of our pants.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not there. Shocking.
Wait a minute. Do you know why we don't do a whole lot of planning, Bill?
Because I take care of it.
Because right. And plan A never works. So
Plan A always works.
plan A never works.
Always.
Always B or C.
No way. You forget that my plans have sub-plans. My plans have plans. I make options. We try to anticipate everything that can go wrong.
Doesn't it hurt your brain?
It does, but that's just,
Hey.
I won't sleep if I can't.
Really?
Yeah. Uh-oh, Jen's got the lights off. This is not bode well.
Nope.
Ben, you better hurry.
Jim just got in bed.
Ben, you better hurry. She's going down. She's got 2 pillows and no lights. It's over. Jen's gonna be going blah 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 blah.